So, Ratih Kumala is the acclaimed author of Gadis Traffic or Cigarette Girl in English, a novel that has captivated readers with its rich tapestry of history, love, and identity, all set against the backdrop of Indonesia's clove cigarette industry. The novel has not only found a loyal readership in Indonesia, but has also reached a global audience through its English translation and a successful screen adaptation.
Every Hindu Barak, we always went to my grandparents' house in Central Java. This is a small city in Central Java. And my uncle, my aunts, my mom, they always tell the same old stories over and over again about how the house was used as closed cigarette industry. So every day, the ladies who works as a roller, as the employees, they will come every morning, and then they will roll, and then the sound of their chat and the rolling, and then how the house was always smell like tobacco because my grandfather, he kept piles of tobacco leaves around the house everywhere, and then how he manages the whole this whole industry. So the story is actually stuck on my mind since I was very young age. And when I decided to be a writer, I think it was when I was in my 20s, early 20s. I know that I wanted to write about cigarette, but I didn't have resources. I think I didn't have enough knowledge about closed cigarette because what I know is only the stories from my families. But if you want to write it down, it's another different level of difficulties. So, I always believe that research is the key of a good book. And I always believe that there are many sides of history, not only the one that is being told to us at school by the government. But when it comes to narrative, one of the most difficult thing for me is language, because Bahasa Indonesia, we have the Bahasa Indonesia itself is already evolved from decades. The Bahasa Indonesia we used in 80s is very different with Bahasa Indonesia that we use right now. Of course, Bahasa Indonesia that is used in the 40s and the 60s, which is the setting of Cigarette Girl, is also very different during the time I wrote the book, which is the 2000s. Women are being repressed because of the patriarchy and everything. In this case, I designed Dacia to be the one who are blessed with this intuitive, and she has a very talent of smelling the good tobacco and the bad tobacco, and she has a very intuitive sense of blending tobacco and the sauce and then the whole cigarette as well. But on the cigarette industry, actually, women roles was only to roll the cigarette by hand. Those are the only roles that you can have, and so they are very skillful on rolling, but you cannot go to the sauce room because the sauce room is only for men. They believe that if you go to the sauce room, if it's the woman who blends the sauce, then the taste won't be good. Those are the beliefs, and that means that her talent is being repressed because of the gender. So there are 4 scriptwriters on the series. Me, and then there's Tanya Yuson, and then there's Tanya Kamili, and then there's Ramadan Tio. we definitely on the project to be a good project, right? So that's why. So actually, this question is also being asked to me when the book was translated into Thailand, to Thai or German. It's like I don't know anyone who knows Thai, and I don't know anyone who knows German. So I'm just like, even if they translate it wrong, I don't think that I'm not gonna know about it, right? but but for sure, I think they all try their best. They will pick the right translator. They will edit it as well, and every country has their own preference of, let's say, cover or the way they represent it to the market, something like that, because they know what the market looks like. I heard that the Malaysian version of Cigarette Girl, they actually omit the sex part. So so I was like, okay. So you guys omit the sex part. Well, because my editor tried to explain to me why they omit that part. Okay, as long as you don't omit the history and everything, fine. I never start writing a novel by a moral of the story, because I always think that takeaways, it has to be the moral of the story of a book, right? Because basically, I only want to tell stories, and I think takeaways can be taken by you guys as the reader, and I don't mind whatever it is. My goal is to tell stories, and I already have. And it's very successful. So how many releases for the English? Oh, I'm not sure because like this is not even the latest one. Yeah. Yeah. I think now it's already like 20 prints or something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And each print is like 10,000 copies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's very widely known. Yeah. Are there any upcoming projects or maybe the translation? I just finished my Dutch novel. The title is Colony, and this time it's not historical fiction, but the story of Colony actually comes from my anger, my upset of the Indonesian political issues, which I uh, I create a story. It is actually a fabulous story. So the characters are all animals. I'm very much inspired by Animal Farm by George Orwell. But my characters, they are insects. So it's going to be out on August. But it's in Bahasa Indonesia. Hopefully, I get the international publisher as well. So you guys can read it in English. Fingers crossed. What's it called? It's a book to say, that's me. Actually, no, but I told them that Dacia is she's actually inspired by my aunts. So my aunt is actually the one who works for my grandfather in that home industry, the clove cigarette home industry. She's the one who's actually helping my grandfather. But the story is not based on her. So I just took her as the character, and she's already passed away a long time ago. And I told that to my other uncles and other aunts that, okay, this one is actually this aunt. And in the book, The character name is Yah, Yah. That's Yah and Rukaya. So actually, from my mother's side, all the female children named by Yah. So that's how I appreciate them. My mother is Badriah, but I don't use the exact name. I just take the word Yah to be part of the name.
Later first. And you choose the kind of personal story that you're trying to tell first, and then you choose it later.
I think it comes on the same moment because I want to tell a story about betrayal and the separations, and at that time, the historical era which I think fit for the story is the 1965, revolution, the revolution, and so it comes at this almost like the same time.
You all concerned that there might be some political pushback since you said it was inspired by your unhappiness with parents?
Of course, there's always that kind of concern, but I'm not the only writer who writes about Indonesian political issues, which we all know that it's messed up. And I think that's also one of the reasons why I use insects, animals as the characters. Just try to a little bit soften it up. But I'm sure when they read it, maybe they will understand it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me as writer, I always wanna I have something to say, and that thing is actually the one that concerns me. And I can't be just quiet or maybe try to write another, love story that's going to be hit. I'm not that kind of a writer. I'm the one who write. I mean, when I write Cigarette Girls, this is also part of my concern with the 1965 historical events, because I do have so many friends and the children of that comes from the victim of 1965 who lives abroad and back inside. I know them. This is also part of my research. So maybe once you becomes popular, the government just like appreciate you as an artist, something like that. So I think you have to be fearless, right? When you decided to be a writer, you can decide to be any kind of writer you want. You can be the one to write the popular books, and it's easy for you to get popularity. Honestly, for me, it's a shock. I'm quite surprised because Cigarette Girl becomes popular. Because I wrote this in 2012. And at that time, although the book is continuously being reprinted, but those who knows me are actually the readers, but not common, not the public. Suddenly I got that kind of popularity. And for me, it's like I'm surprised because usually those who knows me are the writers or producer or
Say that I actually watched the movie first and then I read the book. Usually I'm disappointed in adaptation, but now after I read your book, I can say that I love the book more. And then I actually have a very one technical question maybe. You use the city, the town as M city.
Yes.
Like you didn't describe it, is it Magelang or Muntilan or whatever. So is there any reason behind that? Why you use the city's name like Kudus, and then why is it just M? Thank you.
Actually, no no particular reason, just think that it's going to be fun, to make people guess what the M is. And I never thought it's going to be, people asking me what M is. Actually, I put the whole geographical condition in the book, where that M city is. Like, it's between Yogyakarta and Magelang. So when you drive from Yogyakarta to Magelang or vice versa, you will definitely pass that small cities. And then there are like stores around it, which is still there since like 100 years ago, and it's still there. And I put it on the book actually. So actually, the whole geographical condition are on the book, and for me that is just fun when my reader guessing what is the city, something like that. Yeah, of course. What is it?
Is it Muntila?
Yes, it's
Actually, I read the discussion on the internet
Ah.
about it and the speculation if it's Muntilan or other cities.
Yeah. So when we develop the script, actually we kind of like, should we just use MCT or should we just use Muntilan? Also because of that reason,
Okay.
that the other city mentioned are the name of that city, but accept the Kota M, this MCT. And then we're like, oh, let's just leave it like MCT. We do actually. So when we started producing Cigarette Girl, big companies like Jarum, and also there's actually big companies, the cigarette companies in Indonesia is not just Jarum, but the one that exists in Kudus, especially Kudus, the tobacco city. They're also quite big. They want to be part of the production as well. And then we decided, including Shani Khamen, the producer, we're like, okay, if there's a big company, the cigarette company that includes to this, it's very easy for them to control us. And then the audience will see it as, propaganda for you to smoke or something like that. Right? So we decided, okay, we make sure with Netflix, are you sure you can produce it? Like, okay, we can produce it, but only 5 episodes. Maybe if we say yes, it's going to be 10 episodes. But, okay, 5 episodes. And then we just, okay, it's, we don't have any companies that related to the production. But when the book was released first in 2012, actually Jarum Bakti Budaya also approached me, and they liked the book very much. That can we buy like several copies of your book for our own community? Yes, of course, but there's no logo or anything, so it's like they just their personal appreciation of the works. And as a note, they also buy different kind of Indonesian literature work for their intern company. In art, if you just give birth to a child and then this placenta is being stolen by someone, then it's going to be a tool for that person to pick you up someday in the future. That's exactly what I want.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, because Cigarette Girl is the first original series from Indonesia, they want to make sure that this will bring up Netflix Indonesia into global. In terms of stories, they don't control us. They give us freedom to pick and choose which part that we want to develop into series and which part that we drop. So in the book, there are the 1940s era, 1960s era, and then the 2000s era. Because it's only 5 episodes, we eventually decided that we're going to take the 1960s era and the modern era, the 2000s era. We have to drop the 1940s era. That's like our decision together, and then we pitched that in Netflix, and they're like, okay, we agree. So in terms of the story, they give us enough freedom to develop the whole story. But in terms of like doing the cast, they actually take control of that, enough more control from that, because the main character is Dacia. Dacia is a woman, and she's the one who has more talent on cigarette industry in terms of blending tobacco and sauce and whole cigarette, and she also has like a very distinctive smell. That's why the title is Cigarette Girl. And I also want to point out that if I title it as a cigarette boy, maybe it's not going to be special because that's what happened in the industry. It is usually a man who master the industry. But in this case, I want to talk also about gender. So that's why it's Cigarette Girl. I know that the title is not really capture the whole essence of Ratih, because in Indonesia, Ratih means cool cigarette. And I also discussed this with my editor for the English version. This also, they're like, if you want to title it as Full Cigarette Girl, there's a sense that it's not fit there. So we decided that let's just title it as Cigarette.
Udah kayak bikin film beneran. Nanti belinya di Periplus. Halo, nama saya Ratih Kumala. Saya adalah penulis buku Cigarette Girl. Ini bukunya. Hari ini saya berkesempatan untuk mendiskusikan buku Cigarette Girl di BWA dan Anza. Ini adalah sebuah book club yang ada di Jakarta. Dan kebanyakan peserta yang datang adalah warga negara asing. Kami semua membicarakan Cigarette Girl. Kami senang sekali di sini karena saya berharap agar Cigarette Girl bisa menjadi pintu untuk membuka sastra Indonesia yang lainnya, agar masyarakat global bisa membaca sastra Indonesia yang lain yang sudah diterjemahkan ke bahasa Inggris. Thank you for the dress.
Oh, thank you. I don't know if I got it. I don't have a page that says Cigarette Girl on there.
Oh, yeah. I want to fix that. Okay, now I'm going to watch it. Okay, I haven't watched it yet.